Major Supreme Court ruling.
Major ruling involving the Second Amendment.
The Supreme Court will be taking up a gun right.
Gun laws unconstitutional.
On their own property or out in public.
A pivotal moment just took place in the U.S. Supreme Court, and it's a game changer for gun owners. This 8-1 ruling could reshape the future of gun rights across the nation. Buckle up, because this decision is massive. And today, we're diving into its impact on your Second Amendment rights. This morning, the U.S. Supreme Court handed down a monumental ruling that has left many in shock. The court ruled decisively, affecting the legal framework surrounding gun rights in America. The case initially started as a quiet dispute, but when the highest court in the land made its move, it altered the course of history. In a stunning 8-1 decision, the Supreme Court dismantled a controversial law from Missouri that sought to limit federal gun control within the state. This ruling marks the beginning of a larger national conversation on how far states can go in defending the Second Amendment against federal regulations. What did the justices say? And why did Justice Thomas stand alone in his dissent? Let's break it down. Chapter 1. The law that sparked the fire. In Missouri, lawmakers passed the Second Amendment Preservation Act, which aimed to shield gun owners from federal overreach. The law was meant to challenge the federal government's ability to enforce certain gun control measures within state borders. The Missouri government argued that states should not be compelled to enforce federal gun laws. However, the federal government disagreed, and this conflict quickly escalated to the highest court. Missouri's strategy aimed to prevent local law enforcement from collaborating with federal gun control measures. The state imposed hefty penalties on agencies that cooperated, hoping to block federal action. But in this showdown, Missouri's approach would soon face a major legal setback. Chapter 2. The Supreme Court's bombshell 8-1 ruling. When the case reached the Supreme Court, the decision was swift and clear. In a shocking 8-1 ruling, the court emphasized that federal law holds supremacy over state laws. The justices struck down Missouri's approach, which tried to declare federal gun laws invalid within its borders. While this ruling does not eliminate Second Amendment protections, it does shut down one specific method of challenging federal gun control. Justice Clarence Thomas was the sole dissenting voice, arguing that Missouri should have been granted temporary relief. Despite his disagreement, this case sent a message. The fight to protect gun rights is not over, but it requires a new strategy. Chapter 3. The penalty that triggered the crisis. Missouri's law carried steep penalties for law enforcement agencies that cooperated with federal gun enforcement. The state imposed fines as high as $50,000, leading to a surge in lawsuits. Local agencies, caught between the risk of non-compliance and the financial burdens, faced a serious crisis. The law intended to protect gun rights, but quickly became a source of instability within Missouri. Chapter 4. Missouri's Sanctuary Strategy. Missouri borrowed tactics from sanctuary cities that refused to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement. The idea was simple. If cities can resist federal immigration laws, why can't states do the same with gun laws? But there was a crucial difference. Missouri declared federal gun laws invalid, while sanctuary cities merely refused to cooperate. This distinction would prove costly. Chapter 5. Justice Thomas stands alone. Justice Thomas has long been a champion for constitutional originalism, and in this case, he again took a firm stand. While he did not defend Missouri's specific legal strategy, his dissent indicated a deeper belief in the right of states to challenge federal authority. Justice Thomas's stance signals a deeper conversation about federalism and the future of states' rights. Chapter 6. The Bruen advantage is unscathed. Despite Missouri's loss, The landmark Bruen decision remains intact. This ruling requires gun laws to align with historical tradition, and it has been instrumental in striking down unconstitutional gun regulations across the country. Even though Missouri lost, the fight for gun rights continues to gain ground thanks to the Bruen Standard. Chapter 7. A Federal Enforcement Crisis. The rise of federal firearm enforcement and reclassification of gun parts has sparked a sense of urgency in states like Missouri. The increased scrutiny and regulation have made states wary of federal overreach, prompting them to take drastic legal measures. But the Supreme Court's ruling reminds us that the Constitution, not emotional reactions, defines the boundaries of state and federal power. Chapter 8. The Supremacy Clause and Nullification. The Supremacy Clause of the U.S. Constitution asserts that federal law overrides conflicting state laws. Missouri's attempt to bypass federal law by declaring it invalid went too far. The court ruled that Missouri's language crossed a line, making the entire statute unconstitutional. A small change in wording could have led to a different outcome. Chapter 9. What comes next for states? Red states across the nation are already adjusting their legal strategies in response to this ruling. They're removing nullification language and focusing on non-cooperation tactics that align with the court's interpretation of federalism. The battle for gun rights is not over. It's just evolving. Chapter 10. A new blueprint for defending gun rights. Missouri's loss has provided clarity for states seeking to protect gun rights. The Supreme Court's ruling has drawn the battle lines, and states are already drafting new, smarter laws that can stand up to constitutional scrutiny. This ruling is not a defeat. It's a lesson in refining strategies for the future. As the fight for gun rights continues across the nation, Missouri's defeat serves as a reminder that the path forward must be clear, constitutional, and focused on historical precedent. Stay tuned as we continue to track every case, argument, and ruling that shapes the future of the Second Amendment. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Firearm Legal Briefing to stay updated on the latest developments. Share this video to keep the conversation going. The fight for your rights is just getting started.